Hello every folks and good morning. So lots of kind of smaller and bigger I guess general updates here today. Just a whole lot of stuff that's kind of happened at one time here. So I figured I'd go ahead and mention all of them at once. All right, so first and foremost, there's several games that suddenly got updates at the same time for a bunch of different things. Namely, we've got Symphony of War here coming in with its DLC here today. Basically seems to be like a New Game Plus type of DLC with a bunch of extra challenge modes and whatever. Apparently some kind of time looping mechanic or something from one of those New Game Plus modes. Like they mentioned, having several copies of your giantess character there. Either way, the game was already pretty darn fun. There actually was a free update that came with it. Let me see if... let's see, that's over here, that's over here. So I was planning to go back and take a look at, apparently they added some new units. This is all with the DLC stuff. So with 1.0, they added ludicrous difficulty, they added more tooltips, more like cavalry and such, more cavalry functions for enemy units. Apparently there's I guess they just gave everybody that one perk from Felseal, Quick Fingers or whatever else. So you don't have to take a turn to activate field props and whatnot. Anyway, so they added a whole bunch of stuff. It looks like just across the board. A little bit of a funny time to add Russian language support, but hey, whatever, you know. A new market is a new market. Anyway, let's see. Next up, we got, and yes, we'll get to this in a moment. That was a very exciting surprise. Next up, Crimson Tactics also got controller support finally, so for any of y'all waiting. For anyone else that's currently on Steam Deck that was looking for this one, just know that while it does have controller support, like it has everything mapped out, Steam Deck is currently a little bit behind on this one. Like if you're using a separate controller, it seems to supposedly identify it right away. As far as a Steam Deck, it's not quite the same thing in this particular case. Usually they're both just kind of one and the same. I guess in this case they needed to get it officially verified first. I don't exactly know on the technical side what's up there. Either way, for normal controller situations, they have that up here. Apparently this is why, like, I've been repeatedly going in and they're like, they've announced controller support 3 times now. Why is my Steam Deck not working? Apparently that verification thing that they have down here is for that particular thing. All right, next up, just to kind of mention this here, as far as a follow-up to the previous video on emulation stuff for PPS's PP, for Tactics Ogre PSP, and One Vision. So just know that for this one in particular, one of the like Tactics Ogre has had an issue for years as far as emulating on, well, anything really. It's had some kind of, I think they said like a bad call or something that happens. Just it's the thing that causes those little lag spikes all over the place that none of the settings really seem to fix. So apparently with the next version, it's on their list of stuff to be fixed. So not only will hopefully 1.6.0 have full support for the PSP HD UI thing, but it looks like it should also be able to finally fix that lag spike issue. So yeah, that should basically be Tactics Ogre PSP perfected on the emulation side, finally, after all this time. So that was very exciting to see. Additionally, one thing I should mention, it's not going to show up properly here, but just to kind of show you this, when I was making that video earlier, for anyone that is looking on the emulation side, trying to figure out why maybe they might have had an issue here or there, it turns out the setting that I couldn't remember was block transfer effects. Is it not going to be here now? I don't know where it went in this version. Anyway, block transfer effects. That was the one that was causing some of the issues that I was having there when I was showing it off earlier. So anyways, that's the thing. Basically, upon switching that on the phone, it was able to run at 4x resolution just fine without any issues. So I did add that in the description for that video, but just so you know, that's out there. Okay, and so then we get to the next big thing here, which is going to be Armored Core 6 is finally going to be a thing that's happening right now. Hang on, shoot, I have to get to one thing before then. Okay. We're getting to AC6. Just a second. Here, let's go to the community hub. Actually, wait, would it be under the community hub? Where would this thing be? I think it would be under discussions. Here it is, courtesy of Alistair. More on this in a moment, but the Tactics Ogre Reborn No Experience mod exists now. Basically an ultra masochist mode for Reborn. Was very excited. So thank you, Alistair, for setting this one up. So yeah, apparently it works similarly to the level cap removal mod. But basically, yeah, you just slap this sucker in there. Put them in their related files. I plan to be doing a playthrough of this one pretty soon, which actually gets me to the next thing here. In a bit of an unexpected turn of events here. So for those that kind of didn't see the Discord or whatever else, for the last, well, to an extent last few months, but especially last few weeks, there have been a lot of financial complications, let's put it. Like, we're talking about cases where, like, the electric bill frickin' doubled 1 month, and, a lot of stuff breaking off in the background. Life doing life stuff, as it does. It happens to everybody every now and then. But we had a whole lot of complications come up, and unfortunately this basically meant that as soon as the launch day for Armored Core 6 happened, there was nothing in the tank. So yeah, that was a bit of a bummer a few days ago, but basically had figured, okay, you know what, a week or two behind, okay, we'll figure it out. But courtesy of VicariousBrian over there, over on YouTube, looks like we can go ahead and get started on this today. So thank you very much for that. And as I was promising in one of those things earlier, basically any contributions to the channel at this point will result in another tramp stamp on this robot, and we'll just keep slapping them on there. I figure that's at least a good way to kind of slap that whole situation together. So we're going to be getting started on those. Basically, as far as current plans for like channel stuff, just so folks on the SRPG side aren't, worried that it's being ditched or whatever else, this channel has always been just like jumping back and forth between like, Tactics Ogre and or related things, and Armored Core. Basically, I love these things for the same reason. It's always down to the customization and the weird strategies and whatnot. I know it seems weird that the robot shooty game is a strategy game, but functionally speaking, it's a strategy on the fly game. Longtime Armored Core fans know what I'm talking about, but a lot of it just kind of comes down to, adapting to your weird situation and whatnot. Same reason I love playing SRPGs and all that. So we will still be covering them both. I will still be finishing off, for example, all of the Know Your units for Tactics Ogre and all of that. That's still on the pile. I know. I'm getting to them. We've still got a few other bits and pieces that have been kind of sitting on the back burner as well. Still need to get to Ogre Battle 64 and its Griffin run. Still planning to do the whole pacifist run of Tactics Ogre Reborn. Still got to do all of the that no level run, which is probably going to be the first one because that mod's just out. But either way, all of that's going to be coming as as time permits. Hopefully with most of that stuff on a better curve these days, life-wise, hoping to, be able to have at least a dedicated few hours to keep getting to these, day after day. For those that don't know, a lot of times since my schedule is pretty crazy, I mean, we've got 3 kiddos, tons of animals, and a whole lot of other stuff to handle in the background. It's literally like an hour or two here or there during the week, just kind of whenever there's a minute. It's why a lot of longer projects are sporadic as hell. Like, for example, the One Vision one for that Cresta fight that I promised months ago that I have everything set up for, and just haven't had that kind of lining up of both like 2 hours to actually fully commit to getting that one done, while at the same time kind of being in the right mindset for that particular game for that particular time. So yeah, that kind of stuff it'll happen, So yeah, I'm trying to get to all of them as I can, as you do. So I all the projects that were promised are still promised and all that. I just noticed also I forgot to mention that Xenonauts 2 actually got a couple new milestones since we last talked about it too. This one just keeps popping out new milestones. So yeah, that's still ongoing. Still pretty darn fun. We might as well just go and update that right now. And and obviously there were also a few other little indies off in the background I haven't yet been able to cover. Like, for example, Empires of the Undergrowth had sent me a code a little while ago. Really fun idea for an RTS. Think of it as like StarCraft or like the old Dune games back on the Genesis, except ants. So that's, it's a pretty fun take on all of that stuff. I had no idea what I was doing, and the Steam Deck controls are funky, so it's got to be desktop mode for that one. There was also, I promised to do a run for Monster Sanctuary. Had this challenge thing they put out a couple months ago with a particular seed to do a Nuzlocke. So yeah, we gotta get to that one. I did end up kind of continuing on that save file that we were doing a little bit ago with that permadeath run. Pretty much immediately died after that save, so didn't really miss too much. But apparently a Graphenix is a thing. That thing looked cool as hell. Anyway, we'll get back to this one again as soon as I'm able to do so. It's literally just whenever there's an opening, I sit down. It's like, what am I feeling inspired for right now? So there's that. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, so there was also another one, which was this one that sent me a code like half a year ago at this point. I did a few videos covering it. It basically, so okay, when it came to Asperia, like this is one that I did a few videos covering it, but I didn't feel right putting those out, because this is a kind of smaller indie project that tried to do the whole like kind of GBA Fire Emblem kind of deal, except with some of the features from later ones. Main issue I had with it, though, is that it basically was desktop only. That it was a case where you were more or less playing a sort of... Okay, it feels weird to play a GBA game on a desktop setting. A lot of the story and art and whatever else didn't exactly click with me. I know it does. I'm certain it would click with somebody. But a lot of this stuff was a little bit kind of, funky to my eyes anyway. So it didn't really feel like putting out a video saying, hey, some got fucked up here. So either way, it's gotten more updates since then, so I'm planning to get to that one. Honestly, it's fascinating to me that they redid the UI and added a randomizer mode, so that's a really good sign to me. I know the early game kind of difficulty was a bit of a funky thing, because it was one of those almost like 3DS Fire Emblem kind of deals there, where it would kind of go between way too easy or just all your units insta-died. Or rather, not all your units, but it's more like you had this rule where you couldn't lose any people for the first few chapters, or fights, or whatever they were calling them. So it just kind of came off as strange, because you basically were running a lot of lightweights at that point. Either way. It is what it is. There's new stuff that's changed on this one, so I'm planning to go back to this one and kind of reevaluate it with a fresh approach and all of that. So yeah, I think that's all of the updates for the minute. Yeah, so we're going to be getting started on a lot of projects soon. I apologize that these aren't a bit more organized. Whoops. I apologize that these aren't a bit more kind of organized and coming out in a more cohesive manner. Obviously life is going to do life stuff. And if you may have heard in a lot of these videos recently, hell, I've had to scrap a bunch of them because frankly I've been kind of tired as hell. You can only stay so alert on like 3 hours of sleep a day, so been basically just been working with the family stuff, doing all the watching the kiddos and all that, trying to pop this in where I can, like going and working till like 1 a.m. So it's been a busy time, but I'm hoping the trajectory is on an upward path here. So anyway, thank you again to VicariousBrian here for letting this whole situation happen. Thank you for everyone else's patience in getting to all the other projects that I've been trying to get to over time. Your support has been amazing over the years. It's honestly, this whole channel has gone a lot farther than I was really ever expecting it to. I thought it was just going to be just a little quiet side hobby that never really went anywhere. So either way, it's been absolutely awesome to see. Oh, by the way, actually, while I have this over here, I should probably mention these two that we're making these ones right here. They actually, if you didn't know, they actually are making another game in the background that's supposedly kind of Tactics Ogre-esque. I haven't seen the latest stuff about it, but just so you know, that is a thing. I kind of forgot to mention that. I think I mentioned it a decent bit before, but anyway, just to throw it out there. Anyway, okay, I'm getting distracted again. Y'all have yourselves an awesome one. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you in the next one. And I always love this infinite hallway effect that ends up happening off OBS. You could try to do it this way. All right, take care.